Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Cinnamon Stitches. I am your yarn host, Jennifer, and as always, I wait till I hit record to move stuff. I don't know why I do that. I'm going to say it's a habit at this point. You see that cute little face right there? I didn't bring him to work with me, so now I have to go open the door, so hang on. And he's all warm and toasty because he was sunbathing, and he came in... and he's laying directly behind my chair. He came in on his own accord because he heard me recording, which I don't know how he did. He's been sunbathing just outside the back deck. On the back deck, just outside the back door, all morning. He's having a lovely morning. The weather is beautiful and warm outside. It's cold in the house, though. And he came in because he either heard the beep on my camera or he heard me talking. Or he heard that door shut because you guys have heard it. It's kind of loud. Oh, today is Monday in my world. It's already been a Monday. My son's brain is not on at all. Schooling was not fun. I actually left him to his own devices to finish his social studies. Today's a yarn porn video, so I'm gonna show a bag of yarn that Mr. Cinnamon picked up for me and brought home as a souvenir from his vacation. It was not a vacation. He had a work trip, and he recently has started bringing home little things for us because he knows it's hard on us when he's out of town, and so he has been bringing back stuff like little things here and there just to say, hey, I missed you, like here's presents from, because how many times have you seen in the movies and stuff, like the guy goes on a work trip and brings home his kids like, oh look, here's something from San Diego or whatever. Here's a magnet from a car stop somewhere, you know. Anyway, I asked him because his traveling for work is just within the past couple of years. It's a newer thing, so we're still kind of, I hate it. We're still adjusting and getting used to it. And I told him, I think it was a couple months ago, I was like, can you just like bring me something home so that I feel special? I want to be the wife who gets presents when her husband comes home from being on a business trip. I just want to be that. And I don't care how cheap or stupid it is, but like I just want something, okay? And so he started doing that. He popped into Joann's in Ohio, which is the birthplace of Joann's. And he picked me up some really pretty yarn where I'm going to show it. It's just Joann's yarn. But also I'm going to talk about life because life is, you know, it's a part of the channel. So... yeah, little man's last day of, he is scheduled to finish his curriculum on, which is all of his schoolwork, including extra classes I put in, on April 29th. And so he will be graduating the 5th grade on April 29th. We did it. We made it our first year of homeschool. Today was a little bit rough because, like I said, his brain is not on right now. I've been up since 7. And so I waited till noon to do our schooling, so he had time to eat breakfast at his slow, snail, leisurely pace. His medicine is kicked in for his ADHD. Like, I waited, and he still is just... He can calculate the math in his head like that. But for some reason today, he was doing a quiz, and the first 4 questions went really well, and he got it. Like his typical brain. And all of a sudden his brain's like, oh, I forgot how to simplify a fraction. Because we're learning probability, which is stupid. But I don't like probability. He doesn't either. And so, probability and statistics. It's not something most people use in their everyday life, but whatever. And so he all of a sudden, like the first 4 questions had simplifying a fraction in there. And then all of a sudden he forgot and he started multiplying it and couldn't remember for the life of him how he had just simplified fractions, which led to me being frustrated with him. So, and he's also very distracted today. So he's playing with things here, making noises, and he's looking at my computer instead of his. And he's like, and so I'm like, you know what? I'm going to walk away. I'm going to go to work. And you're going to finish your social studies by yourself because you're capable of doing that. And the social studies is just, the social studies program is, it's basic history. They read to you and quiz you on what you read. So I'm actually going to crack this bag open with a pair of scissors. Like I said, Mr. Cinnamon stopped at a Joann's by where he was at for work, and he picked me up some of the Big Twist Living yarn. I love the Big Twist Living yarn because it is anti-pilling acrylic, and I love anti-pilling acrylic. If you guys don't know, I learned about anti-pilling acrylic from Premier Yarns. And so I know what anti-pilling acrylic is because of Premier Yarns. I know all about anti-pilling acrylic because of Premier Yarns. And I know what good anti-pilling acrylic is because of Premier Yarns. And if you don't know what anti-pilling acrylic is, I'm going to tell you. It's acrylic that has been treated so it doesn't get all those little fuzz balls on it. And Premier, not Big Twist. Big Twist has not made any statements in regards to their anti-pilling acrylic, but in regards to Premier Yarns, their anti-pilling acrylic line says that it's like new, wash after wash for up to 300 washes, and if pills start to form from like rubbing and wearing, like in your armpits or like the blankets, whatever, if you throw it in the wash, the pills come off, so you don't have to shave it or cut the little fuzzy balls off or none of that. That is, I'm very handsy today, you notice? I'm like I'm surprised. I'm really tired. We went to the zoo this weekend, so today's Monday. We went to the zoo yesterday, and then my body crashed out last night, and it was not a situation like, oh, I'm tired from the zoo. It was my body went into full meltdown, real bad, severe pain everywhere, and like my feet were cramping real bad. You know, you get the toes where your toes start to like lock and like curl. That was happening. That's a sign of low magnesium. I also did not drink anywhere near enough water to sustain me yesterday, so I know that these were all contributing factors to why I was feeling so bad last night. I went to bed at 6 last night. That's great. And I slept good last night because I took a couple of Motrin, and it helped enough that I fell asleep. And Bentley, my baby back there, let me move my mannequin so you can see my beautiful boy. Oh, he's not even in his doggy bed. He's still directly behind me. I can't show you. He's right there. My beautiful baby boy, who I swear is a emotional support dog, a comfort dog, and he's not trained to do so, but he is just his personality. He was still kind of a puppy when I broke my leg, and ever since then, like if mommy is having an issue or she's sick or something's going on, he does not leave my side. And so Mr. Cinnamon came in at one point last night, and he came into our bedroom, and Bentley is like curled around my arm up here, and he's 65 pounds. He's a big boy. He's like curled so that he is fully comforting me, because when he lays against me, I'm able to sleep easier. He has like this soothing spirit about him. He's such a, like, I'm telling you, he's an angel disguised as a dog, okay? And then even when Mr. Cinnamon had to move him so he could get into bed, he like went down to where my waist is and just completely, and put his head curled around hugging my leg. He's a good boy. He knew Mama was bad last night, and so he was my comfort dog. And then none of that matters. I don't know why. This is what it came from. This is where my brain is at today. I'm a little bit hyperactive today myself. I'm gonna be real honest with you, but I'm surrounded by fresh, brand new yarn, and the yarn fumes make me so deliriously happy. Especially when your husband brings home beautiful colored yarn like this. Now, the Big Twist Living was originally brought out as a Pride. They were brought out for Pride Month for like June. It was a couple years ago, and it was a limited thing. And so some of the names and definitely the colors go with a flag for Pride. And some people are highly, highly offended by that, which is, it's yarn, first of all, and it's people, second of all. So I love the living yarn. I don't care. One of my favorite yarns from the collection was this one, and I didn't know it. My daughter had to inform me that this is lesbian colors, and so I made a beautiful hat out of this, and I was wearing it. She's like, you know, that's the lesbian flag, and I was like, so I didn't know that, but whatever. I just be a lesbian when I have this hat on. We don't care. So, it's all good in the neighborhood. So this is the colorway Hang on. Where are my eyeballs at? My glasses, that my 45-year-old eyes are actually, I can't see anything that in this rain. I can't see anything. I'm doing the, you know, why do we look through the bottom of our eyeballs to focus? Why do we do? Every person I've ever known that has vision problems close up, they do. Why? Does that really help? And why does it help? Why does moving our eyeballs down help? I need to ask my eye doctor that. Why does it help? I mean, it makes sense to somebody who has readers. These are readers. It makes sense that you would look like down through your glasses, but I do it when I don't have glasses on. So, anyway, this is the color Fun Brights. It's like a pastel rainbow. I think it's beautiful. It's really soft. He bought me 2 of these. The color I really want and have been looking for is the Inclusivity colorway, which is the typical Roy G. Biv colorway rainbow. I had some, I used it, and that's the one colorway that has not been showing up in stores. And then one of you guys works at my local Joann's. She went to a store in Richmond, Midlothian to be correct, and she showed in a box they had some of the rainbows. Like, did you grab it? And she's like, I didn't know you wanted it. I'd have gladly met her up and gave her money. Like, I would. It's all right. It's all right. I will make do. I will either find. And I've had a couple of people say, why don't you just drive down to that store? Because honestly, I spent money. Well, Mr. Cinnamon spent money on tomorrow's haul that I'm going to show you, and I bought more than I probably needed. And they upped the discount to 30%, which 30% is just a sale price at this point. It's not a good deal, but they had some yarns at my local store that I wanted, and I just wanted it. But I spent a little too much, and I spent more than I probably should have. Did I make myself broke? I spent my husband's money. He paid for it. He's my sugar daddy, in case you don't know. I have my money separated from his because he pays all the bills and I generally do the fun stuff. But also, I've talked about it in pretty much every video for the past 2 months. We're trying to sell this house and move out of it and find property. And in doing so, we have to funnel money towards stupid things that need to be fixed around the house before we can put it on the market. Things that a inspector will go, hey, wait a minute, this needs to be fixed. And so I'm trying to, I also don't want to buy a bunch more yarn that I have to move. So I don't want to pack up a whole truck filled with yarn. And so that's another reason why I'm trying not to buy yarn. I'm not doing real great, but I'm not also, I'm really, really being careful with what I'm purchasing. So technically my husband bought this without me knowing and then paid for tomorrow's Joann's haul. The only reason I overspent is I actually went, and the reason Mr. Cinnamon, we'll talk about that tomorrow. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. A lot of people, when I go explain things, I'm explaining it so that I feel less guilty about what my own rules and regulations. People are like, you don't really need to explain that to us. It's not our business. But then I feel guilty, like, I'm not supposed to be spending. I need to explain that, you know. Because, yeah, we'll just leave it at that. So anyway, he also got me 2 of this is my favorite. I don't know why, but the purple and the orange together, is so pretty. And I made a hat on the knitting machine with this yarn, and I don't have it in here because it's obviously packed away with my winter weather things, probably in storage. And I made the inside white and the outside is this beautiful, beautiful colorway. And it is the most beautiful hat. This yarn looks beautiful worked up. So he got me 2 of these. And honestly, I was thinking, because the Living at my local store has it in solids, which you will see tomorrow. I thought about buying the purple at Living to, my son is being loud. You're going to hear him in the background. I have no idea what he's saying. He's singing something. honestly, what he's doing is he's doing vocal stimming. I wanted the purple to go with this to make it go further because he only got me 2 of these, but I didn't get the purple, and now I'm kind of regretting it because I really like this colorway of that. And I don't think another yarn company... Oh, I didn't tell you the colorway. This one is Spirit. I don't think another yarn company is going to come out with these specific colorways just because of what they represent and, you know, the state of the world and all that crap. So anyway, this is the color Confidence. And if you don't know anything about the pride flags, they're just beautiful yarns. It's when you say they're supposed to represent something. That's when people get all butthurt and offended and like, I don't even know. It's pretty yarn. I don't care what it represents or doesn't represent or who it offends. I like it. It makes me happy. It's pretty. So he got me 4 of these, and this one is the colorway Confidence. Confidence. And I believe Joann's had, I feel like they had the pink, the solid pink of this colorway. So if you wanted to take, if you had some of these in stock, they have the colors. They also have this color, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. I bought some of this at Joann's, this colorway right here, that peachy. They had that one in the living, and I bought some of that to make these 2 go further. And I should have bought the purple, and I didn't. And I'm kicking myself for it now, but I also know that this is beautiful with the white, but I think it would be pretty with purple too, and I could make a bigger project. And that's, so the reason for tomorrow's video is Sherry over in the Facebook group. She's posting what our store, our local store has, because she works there. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to go over there, but I kind of am curious. And so when Mr. Cinnamon came home from his work trip and he brought me these, I was like, I wonder what they have at our local store. And I already kind of knew because she keeps posting pictures and videos in the Facebook group. And so I was like, I'm just curious. Like, I don't, and I had a little bit of money in my bank account. I was like, I'm just curious. I'm just curious what they have. I cannot stop yawning lately. So I went over there. I was like, and if I don't buy anything, I don't buy anything. And if I find a couple of things, I could buy it and I'll be happy. And I ended up buying with his help because my husband's, I don't want to call him an enabler. He encourages me to buy what I want that makes me happy. He really likes, he says he doesn't care as long as it makes me smile. And I told him the other day, it is wild to me because something showed up in my Facebook feed that it said, I will never understand the phrase, my husband says no. My husband said no. And I showed it to him and I laughed. And he said, yeah, I don't get that either. And then we had a whole discussion about, I understand if your husband is like the primary breadwinner and he's the one paying the bills and you just don't have the money to spend on yarn. I understand that. Like if he's putting restrictions because he doesn't have the extra money for you to spend. But I have heard so many people say, my husband said no, my kids said no, my grandkids said no because I have too much yarn. Because whatever restrictions, and I don't understand that. I understand it from a financial perspective. If you're putting yourself into debt, if you're spending irresponsibly, I get that. But sometimes it's just they say no because they say no. And I don't know. I'm very grateful my husband's not like that. I'm not judging other people. I'm really not. But I feel bad for people who are in that situation. And my husband has very rarely ever told me no to anything. He will say, we can't afford it right now. We can get it next paycheck or whatever. But the answer no is not. And I don't really ask him anyway. I do. We discuss, should I get this? And he always says yes. you think I should buy this? But he also knows that I'm really, really responsible with money. And I know that some people are not, and they have impulse control issues, and they just buy. That's not me at all. And so I think we have like a healthy balance there. But he spoils me, and I'm so grateful for that. He knows that I'm not doing anything to harm our family, and I have several times come in and rescued the day because he was short, or because even back in Michigan when I was a photographer, we were going through we purchased a house. We moved in when I was 9 months pregnant with Juju. We were all of 25 years old. We didn't have a house inspection, and the house was literally crumbling around us. We had so many financial problems because the house was like dragging us down. So we had to file bankruptcy to get out from under the house. And there were times where we were struggling real bad. Well, I started doing photography. I started my own photography business. And then I started to see, because we agreed as husband and wife that when we had children, I would raise them, because we didn't want our kids in the daycare system. And I know that's not a choice for some people. They don't have any option but to do it that way. But that was, we will figure it out type situation. But this is our choice. We are not having a daycare raise our kids. And so we knew that there would have to be sacrifices, and we'd have to, be careful with money and all that. But the house really just tried to destroy us in a matter of 3 years living there. And so here comes Jen. I'm going to save the day. And I started just hustling hard with the photography business. And then I turned it into something where, I was really helping the family. And I was like, saving the day sometimes. Like, we don't have gas in the car. Here you go. Mama Jen's got some money for you, Big Daddy. And so, we my YouTube money is very much that. Like, I keep it for rainy days a lot of times. I save it, put it to the side. And I absolutely am the queen of budget. I spend this percentage, and this percentage goes to bills, and it goes to savings, and it goes to my taxes, because I have to pay taxes on what I make here. And so, like, I always take that little bit of my budget, and Mr. Cinnamon steps in a lot. He's like, here, you need some budget money? And then when he, like, needs gas money or something, like, Mama's got you covered. Mama's got you covered. I don't know why I went into all that. Doesn't really matter. But tomorrow is a much larger Joann's haul, and a little tiny Fredericks, yeah. Amazon. I read the word Fredericksburg because that's the city I live in. Well, I live just outside of Fredericksburg, but I'm going to show you that package tomorrow with the Joann's haul, because two of the yarns I bought go with what's in there. And so we're just going to plop that over there, and we're going to say we have the best husband in the whole world. I mentioned in the Facebook group that my sugar daddy bought my yarn for tomorrow, and there's new people that are popping over that have no idea who Cinnamon Stitches even is. And it's because they're being recommended from Fat Crochet. I think it's a plus size crochet community keeps recommending me. And so I'll get a flood of people. Well, I got recommended Cinnamon Stitches for plus size stuff. And then they join the Facebook group not realizing I have a YouTube channel. So they will ask questions, and they're like, who designed that? Well, what is a Cinnamon Stitches? And so I have to explain, like, I'm Cinnamon Stitches. I have a YouTube. That's where you find the designs at. Go over there. Go over there. Go over there. And then every once in a while a person pops in. They have no idea. I'm like, how did I even join this group? And they'll ask like silly questions. So somebody commented something kind of snotty, and I don't know if they didn't know they were talking to me, Cinnamon Stitches, or they didn't know who Cinnamon Stitches was. It could have been one of those, like, you have a sugar daddy? Must be nice. I'm glad you can have one. And that's the way I read it. And it may not have even been worded that way, but I read it as kind of snarky. And I was like, yeah, Mr. Cinnamon is my sugar daddy. Duh. Like I said, she may have posted it as she just didn't know who I was, or didn't know what was happening, or she just, I don't know, maybe she was being funny and I just read it as sarcastic, but I was like, yeah, are you new here? I have a sugar daddy. His name is Mr. Cinnamon. So I will record that video. It's going to be today. I'm going to record it. We'll upload it as the day goes on. But I'm actually really excited about the yarn that I picked out for myself. He did a really good job with that. But my local Joann's had yarn that I have been on the lookout for a little while, hoping that I could find it. And the sale, like I said, went up to 30% off, which 30% off is barely a sale. And it's definitely not a huge markdown or whatever. My store, my local store, I'm probably going to retell this story tomorrow, was empty of people. And it was filled to the brim with yarn. There was nobody in there. I had the whole store to myself. I actually had to yell at Mr. Cinnamon because he was like 3 aisles over for me. And he was talking so loud I could hear him. I'm like, dude, you need to be quiet. Why are you so loud? And he's all, what, am I embarrassing you? I was like, no, but I'm trying to be incognito. I want shop in peace. I don't want people gathering around because you're being loud. And then I got to share the yarn with other people. Like, be quiet. His voice carries, though. He has a very loud voice. I think he was also excited to be home. He was really glad to be home. He actually surprised us, came home Friday night instead of Saturday like he was supposed to. And it was just so nice to have him home. It was just so nice. And then I realized, like, oh, sometimes life is easier when he's not around because it's quiet. And because I don't have to do it. Like, he came in and just threw his stuff everywhere. I'm like, bro, pick up after yourself. His suitcase is still in the living room, open with all the clothes just in there, just piled like a big pile of dirty laundry sitting on the chair. Sir, if you don't clean up after yourself, you can go back to Ohio. Because in 2 seconds of him being home, the entire living room was a disaster area. I'm like, Hurr! Sometimes I feel like his maid and not his wife. I don't usually complain about that kind of stuff to him, though, so I'm not. I don't walk behind my husband and say, you need to pick up your socks. Get your underwear off the floor. Pick up, I don't do that. I move stuff out of my way, and when the pile gets big enough, he's going to pick up after himself, because I'm not doing it. But yeah, the living room area, when people leave stuff in the living room area specifically, I hate a cluttered living room. And Poncho, the puppy, who is about 7 months old now, constantly is bringing in sticks. Or the bigger dogs will shred a stuffed animal that someone has given to her to play with. And then the fluff ends up all on the carpet stairs, which is directly behind you. I mean, behind this wall. Like, the whole carpet of the stairs will be just covered in fluff from the inside of the stuffed animals that somebody gave to the baby dog. And she brings in sticks and just chews them, and they end up all over the floor with clay, because our dirt is clay, paw prints. I'm constantly sweeping and or vacuuming, and it's driving me crazy. I love my dogs. I wouldn't get rid of not a single one of them, but when your husband comes in and you got adult children and then you got a 10-year-old and everybody's just leaving their crap, I start to like lose my crap. I'm trying to stop yelling because it just irritates both of us to yell. Like, whoever I'm yelling at, like, I started just taking, because you know, the adults have phones. I take a picture and I send it text like, you left your crap on the table, you left your crap on the couch, you left your crap on the floor. It's passive aggressive, yes, but it does work. Because if you don't come deal with it, I'm gonna yell then, and nobody wants to hear that. So yeah, really, really grateful Mr. Cinnamon brought me that yarn. And then story time tomorrow. I might as well just tell you today. I had my budgeted amount and I wasn't keeping perfect track. And I was like, I can spend this amount of money today. And then I picked up something for Juju. It was this real pretty necklace earring set that was like flowered, like it was pink and purple. It was so pretty. And I threw it in because it was like 40% off. And then I was still within my budget. And little man, I was like, well, he didn't even ask me for anything. I would have bought him something. I bought something for my daughter. He comes behind me, he's all, hey, can I get this little tiny magnetic light this big? I was like, sure. Didn't realize it was $10. It overset my budget by $3. So that's when Mr. Cinema stepped in and he swiped. So he paid for it. And I was like, I'll pay you back. And then we got to the car. He's all, don't worry about paying me back. I paid for it, it's fine. I was like, cool. So I still have that little money I set aside for yarn if I wanted to make another yarn purchase, which I've really been arguing myself about because, like I said, Hedgehog Fibers released this new colorway that is this month only. It is so gorgeous. I do not need any more wool yarn. I have so much of it. But it's so pretty. And you guys know how that is. Like, oh, and it's limited. Like, and then Premier Yarns keeps doing sales. And I'm like, no. If they release a new yarn anytime soon, I'm screwed though. I'm not screwed. I will absolutely be mine. I like when Premier Yarns, and that benefits the channel though, because the new yarn comes out. I get to review it. You guys get to see it. You guys click my link if you like it. It all works out. So Premier Yarns is a perfect excuse. I got no excuses or reason for shopping at Joann's other than I wanted to. And it felt good. And it was nice. And yeah. There's that. I started a new project, which is over here. I refrogged these yarns, and I'm turning it into a shawl now. And I got so far on the shawl, and I realized I don't really like it. And I might frog it for the 4th time. This project has been put into projects and frogged on repeat. But I think I did too many stitches. I don't like that it's so far up already. It should only be like this. And I think I'm gonna frog it. I just cannot turn that yarn into something. It's just not. Oh, there's my glasses. That's my prescription glasses, which I also can't see past you guys. Those are also, they're prescription, but they're prescription kind of, they're close up, so I can't see past here. Anyway, so I'm gonna let you guys go, and then I'm gonna film the rest of my yarn haul for, because Mr. Cinema brought me that home on Friday, and this Saturday morning he's like, what do you want to do today? I was like, I don't know. And he's all, yes you do, you have an idea what you want to do today. And I was like, oh, I don't know. And then he's like, this is a dramatic reenactment. He's all, come on, what do you want to go do today? I was like, I really do need to get out of the house. He's all, where do you want to go? I was like, I probably shouldn't go to the place I want to go to. It's not like the mail lady stopped, which usually means a package, which means the dogs might bark. I don't know if she stopped at my house or somewhere else, but I heard her. I heard her. Anyway, and he's all, just tell me. And I was like, well, I really shouldn't, because I don't need more yarn, and I shouldn't spend the money, and all the reason why I shouldn't go to Joann's. And he's all, okay, but where? I was like, Joann's. He's all, let's go. And I was like, but he's all, just let's go. Go get dressed. He wanted to get out of the house too. And so we went over there, and it was actually like the sun was shining, and I mentioned in Monday's video that like my anxiety's been, it's been just out of whack, and you know, panic attacks and like all that crap. And I just don't think I'm getting enough vitamin D, and I think I'm missing other key elements to being a healthy body because of all the crap that's going on with my system right now. And so I actually turned on my UV light, and that helped a little bit. And then sitting in the so we went to Joann's, and that didn't get me sunshine, but it got me up and moving and walking around. And then we went to the grocery store after that so we can get stuff for dinner. And I'm sitting in the parking lot of the grocery store, and the sun is just beaming through the window. So I rolled the window down so that the sun is actually getting through the tinted windows. And I just let it soak, and I was probably there for 25 minutes and just soaking in the vitamin D. And I was like, that actually really, buying yarn and sitting in the sun made me feel so much better. And then that evening I started to feel kind of yucky again, and I'm like, I'm gonna go get on my bike. I have a recumbent exercise bike. and I rode that for 20 minutes. And then I still had anxiety in the evening, but I felt drastically better. And then last night I didn't have anxiety at all. So I know that I need to drink more water, probably start a vitamin, which I've been told by so many of you to do a month ago. I just don't like taking them. Vitamins hurt my stomach. And also, I need to work my body harder off the excess energy so that it does not turn into anxiety. Because a lot of people don't know this, I'm telling you, exercise is the #1 way to raise endorphins in your body. And it's not utilized by nearly enough people because we have computers and robots to do pretty much everything for us now. So there's a whole lot of just sedentary sitting on your butts, especially for us crafters that sit for hours. You know, if you don't get up and move, it's bad for your mentality as well as your physicality. And I'm not telling anybody to exercise. I'm not lecturing nobody on weight. I'm not doing any of that. I'm just saying for me, I kind of need to do this for a lot of different reasons. It has nothing to do with how fat or skinny I am. Well, Ponyo wants in. Ponyo misses Grammy. That's little Ponyo. You see how little she is? That's my little pudgy girl. You want in? Alright, I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm gonna go give her kisses because that's all she wants. She'll come in here, give me kisses, and go right back about her business. She just missed me for a minute. And I will see you tomorrow for even more Joanne's yarn and yarny goodness. And yeah, bye guys.